My name is Moustafa, and I got into mindfulness meditation about 6 or 7 years ago through being diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. And I had a yoga teacher that was very helpful in introducing me to this practice. And I found it to be very, very helpful as a tool for me to deal with day-to-day, just day-to-day feelings, emotions, thoughts. And when I discovered that it is a very helpful tool, I was very excited to try to share it with a lot of people. And I got to meet with a lot of institutions that are doing some of the great work, some of the great research around how mindfulness helps us deal with some of the day-to-day challenges that we have. And through my journey, I got to got my certification from UFT and have been guiding a few groups in the city. And the word mindfulness meditation, probably some of you have heard about it. It's kind of a buzzword in the news these days. So I just wanted to clarify what it really, what are the working definitions of what mindfulness meditation is. So one of the definitions that have been established by John Kabat-Zinn, who's done great work in terms of research, clinical research, to show how mindfulness has been changing the way we are being with each other, is that mindfulness is the ability to generate awareness by paying attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. So it's kind of a loaded definition. There's a few kind of main elements here that I want to bring your attention to as we maybe perhaps try to practice today. So the idea behind it is that you are trying to pay attention, generate that skill of attention on purpose. So you're not just paying attention to anything that's, say, you're not paying attention to TV or to a show, or you're just directing that attention to something that you purposely want to pay attention to. And it's in the present moment, and I'll speak a little bit about why the use of the present moment as opposed to the past and the future. And it's without judgment, meaning that whatever arises as we pay attention, we try not to go into a place of trying to change it, trying to push it away, or trying to hold on to it. So the present moment, let's talk a little bit more about that. So mindfulness is a tradition that's been kind of established almost 2,500 years ago, or even before that. A lot of people have been reflecting on how the mind works, and one of the reflections were to say that one of the qualities of the mind is that it's constantly either thinking about past, thinking about memories, situations that happened to us a moment ago, or an hour ago, or a month ago, or in our childhood, etc. And usually we associate with that would be some level of not feeling good about some of those memories. Or sometimes we feel really good about them and we try to hold on to them and we're trying to repeat them. So it depends. So if we're not thinking about the past, we're usually worried, concerned about the future, trying to forecast how the future is going to look like. And what that really does is that it doesn't really allow us to be here. It doesn't allow us to live, to be in this moment right here. And that's one of the reasons why the definition includes in the present moment. Now, in the present moment is not necessarily always pleasant, right? So that's the other trick, is that we are trying not to judge the uneasiness or the unpleasantness. We're trying to attend to it. We're trying to befriend it so that we're able to start to take log of how this moment feels, what kind of thoughts we're having right now, and then how the next moment feels, what kind of thoughts we're having right now, what kind of emotions we're having. And by doing that, it's actually a very practical tool. And that's why I'm very honored to be here, because I believe that mindfulness can actually be very useful in terms of day-to-day application. So when we're taking a shower, when we're eating our food, when we're lying in bed at night, this is where our mind is wandering the most, when no one's around us to try to kind of support. And mindfulness meditation is one way for us to take some sort of self-control of the thoughts that come up to us at those moments when we're in our head by ourselves. So in that sense, when we're facing those thoughts, those emotions, when they arise, when we start to befriend them, when we start to not try to push them away or try to hold on to them, what happens is that we eventually start to notice patterns. We start to notice that, say, a negative emotion or a negative thought would not last for a long time. It will show up, stay for a bit, and then eventually it moves on. So there's some sort of comfort in the fact that it's not static, like an emotion or a thought is continuously moving on. So if you don't judge it, if you don't hold on to it and keep repeating it, or if we don't resist it and it starts to push back at us, it eventually starts to pass by. So instead of us having some sort of if we do a graph of our emotions and our thoughts, instead of them going really high and then really low, really high, really low, what happens is that they start to go high and low, but not in a smaller range, as opposed to extreme highs and extreme lows. So it's a way of self-care, it's a way of self-kindness. A lot of the talk about mindfulness is really on a cognitive level, but my invitation for you today is maybe if you are interested to try to practice with me. So I'll invite you, I believe we probably have about 10 minutes or so. What we want to do is just to see if we can practice together, and what I would like to say about the practice is it really is kind of a skill that we train ourselves to do. It's not something that once we do at one point in time we'll be really good at. It's kind of like muscle training. And a lot of research has shown through, the diagnostic imaging and the fMRI machines have been helping us see how the brain's constantly in a state of rewiring, changing. And there's been a lot of research on how mindfulness meditation, it does actually help create pathways in the brain that are related to self-regulation, self-soothing and such. So what I want to say is, as we practice today, just know, don't be in a state of mind of I need to be good at this right now. It's just approach it with openness, with curiosity, see if it works for you, and know that it's kind of a skill, a muscle that it takes time to cultivate a little bit. But let's see how it goes. So if you don't mind, just see if you can find a comfortable position for you, like let's say a posture where your shoulders are kind of relaxed, allowing yourself to just gently let go of whatever it took you to come to this moment right here. And if it helps for you to perhaps gently, if you'd like to gently close your eyes, or just have a gaze downwards a little bit, kind of a 45-degree angle downwards. What that does, it helps us kind of allow us not to be too distracted by our surrounding, so that we start to gently bring our attention inwards. So if you'd like, if you can, just gently see if you can notice how you're breathing at this moment. Just bringing your attention to how the breath is coming in through the nose, through the nostrils, and how your breath is coming out as you exhale. And as you breathe in, I'll invite you to see if you can bring that quality of being aware, alert. And as you breathe out, see if you can just relax further into your body and just release. If you're holding your shoulders tight, see if you can just release them a little bit further. So you notice as you start to kind of sit with the breath, you'll notice that thoughts arise, and that's very normal. Thoughts always do. So we're not trying to push away the thoughts that you might be experiencing at this moment. We're not trying to hold on to any of the thoughts. We're just stepping back and allowing ourselves to come back to our breath again. without trying to judge any of the thoughts that are coming in. So as you start noticing your breath, I'll invite you to also perhaps notice that there might be some movement in your body. As you're breathing in, you might notice that perhaps your chest might be rising, your lungs being filled with air. Perhaps even your belly rises. And as you breathe out, you might notice that your chest falls, your belly falls inwards. So see if you can connect with that movement. Inhaling, your chest rises, your shoulder rises, your body filled with air, nourishing. And as you breathe out, your chest might be falling inwards, shoulders falling. Just kind of befriend that movement in your body. Just notice. For those of us who are visual, you can imagine it being like the waves on the surface of an ocean, rising on the in-breath, just relaxing on the out-breath. Now, if you notice that your mind is coming to a calmer place, or perhaps starting to slow down a little bit, just reconnect with your breath again. And this time, my invitation for you to see if you can bring your attention all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Just bringing all your awareness to that cushiony area that carries your weight as you walk and as you stand. Just noticing, bringing your attention, checking in, seeing if you can recognize any sensations in that part of your body. It could be numbness, tickling, pressure, dampness, heat, coolness, blank sensations, any sensations that you might be experiencing at that part of your body, at the bottom of your feet. See if you can also notice how it feels like around your toes. These are all parts of your body that you might not be connected with us at the moment, but we're just bringing that skill of paying attention to recognize how it feels like around the toes, around the bottom of our feet, around the ankles. See if you can bring your attention further up through the calves, the shin, just noticing any sensations around that area. Noticing your knees, the front of your knees, the right side, the back, the left side. See if you can bring your awareness further up, kind of around the thighs, moving upwards. You can notice again your belly rising on the in-breath, relaxing on the out-breath. Scanning through as you move upwards from the midsection of your trunk to the rib cage. Notice it expanding on the in-breath, protecting precious organs in your body. Relaxing on the out-breath. Notice how it feels like around your shoulders, scanning through the front of your shoulders, the right sides, the back, the left side. Notice your awareness around your upper arms. See if you can notice around the elbows, how it feels like in that area, any sensations that you might recognize. Your forearms, not just on the surface, but deep into the bones. Your wrist. Just allow yourself to reconnect with the palms of your hands, the back of your hands. See if you can notice any sensations around your fingers, sides of your fingers, your fingertips. Just befriending what's arising, befriending the sensations in your body as you move towards your neck, the back of your neck, the throat, the sides. recognizing that in those areas some of them have been locked up for years and we're not really recognizing the sensations there. So see if you can notice around the jaw line, the jaw area, see if you can release. We tend to hold our jaw area really tight when we're stressed. See if you can drop it a little further away, relax. Allow yourself to be at ease with whatever is arising right now for you. Noticing your mouth, the roof of your mouth, your tongue, how it feels like to swallow. Noticing your nose, just enjoying the cool air coming in, nourishing your body. And as you exhale, notice perhaps the quality of the air changes, it becomes a bit warmer. Noticing your cheeks, your cheekbones, bringing your awareness towards your eyes, noticing your eyelids, gently covering your eyes, your eyebrows, scanning your forehead. So as much as possible to move to the sides towards your ears. Scanning the back of your head, scalp as you move upwards all the way to the top of your head. I just invite you to use just gentle visualization here, imagining a point at the top of your head. Imagine from that point there's a very thin thread connected to that point. And from the other end of the thread, imagine there's a butterfly just gently pulling you upwards from that thread, allowing your body to feel spacious and to relax. Just one last time, bringing your awareness to your toes, your ankles, your knees, pelvic area, your spine all the way to your shoulders, your arms all the way to your fingertips, your neck, your face, your head. And just noticing how your entire body is breathing at this moment. And then bringing your awareness from the physical to the non-physical by checking in and just asking yourself, what is my intention for this day? What is my intention for this workshop? How can I stay open and receptive of whatever arises for me as I receive information and as I ask questions and as I connect with others and as I care for myself? Just, when you're ready, see if you can just take a last one deep breath before you gently open your eyes and bring yourself back to the room. Well, thank you for practicing with me today and for being open and curious.